Hey Butler, what you watching?
女の子は誰でもキラキラ光る宝石なんだから。
Dude.
It's a good show. Don't be a dick.
Media today is for little pansy babies, little girly men, femboys, and other various demasculinized types. If only there was media for strong, rugged alpha males like myself. Like my idol. I need more testosterone in my cartoons.
Let me guess, it's gonna be some crap cartoon from the 80s, or maybe the 90s, that only exists to sell toys to little boys.
Yes. Arthur and the Knights of Motherfucking Justice. Just look at it. Drink it in. How is this not bigger than He-Man? This kicks ass. Just listen to the theme song. Oh, that's nice. Created to sell what would end up being an extremely limited toy line and only like 3 comic books, Arthur and the Knights of Justice was unable to stand up to the other cartoons designed to sell toys from the 80s, like Transformers or He-Man. The 90s were an interesting time for cartoons designed to sell toys, which I'm going to refer to from now on as Toy-Toons. Toy-Toons still existed throughout the 90s, some coming out as late as 1997 with Extreme Dinosaurs.
Modern man's got prehistoric company.
But these kind of cartoons just couldn't stand up to their progenitors. As cool as Arthur and the Knights of Justice was, kids weren't gonna go out and buy Arthur toys over He-Man. In the same way that as cool as Street Sharks were, they weren't gonna stand up to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Though I do think Street Sharks did a bit better than the Arthur toy tune. I don't know, I don't got the numbers. The cartoon was created by some Canadian dudes, but also the guy who would go on to be CEO of Marvel Studios. Iron Man was awesome.
You know, they've made more movies since Iron Man.
Yep, I'm sure they have. Anyways, the plot is simple. King Arthur and the Knights of Camelot get trapped in a whack-ass crystal prison by the evil sorceress Morgana. Merlin isekais a bunch of football players from the modern era of 1992 to temporarily serve as the Knights' replacements. To free the Knights of Camelot, the football bros must find the 12 Keys of Truth, so that they can summon Shenron and finally generate enough power to defeat perfect chaos. God, I love MacGuffins. The big bad evil guy, Lord Viper, has conquered the kingdom. He and his band of warlords are just running amok and being dicks to the general populace, I guess. Also, that guy has got axes on his fucking head. Holy shit, the dude with axes on his head, who wields a giant axe, pushes a fucking war machine that catapults axes at his foes. I fear not the man who has mastered many weapons. Rather, I fear the man who's taken one weapon and made it many. Look how many axes are flying through the air. You can't tell me there are more dudes than just Axeman throwing them either. He's just going fucking bananas down there. He probably doesn't even realize other weapons exist.
Lord Viper, again Merlin uses his magic to stop our weapons.
Merlin might have his magic, but I've got one last trick up my sleeve. Boys, roll up the snake-a-polt.
But if that is so, then...
You're coming with me, Guinevere. Away, wench! Your queen is going to Castle Morgana.
Away, wench. Your queen is going to Castle Morgana. When all hope seems lost, the Lady of the Lake, She-Ra, tells him to just yoink 12 dudes from the future using magic to clean this shit up. The 12 dudes in question are Arthur King and his football team, the Knights. Yep.
Arthur is tough and driving's his thing. Making 60-yard touchdowns, he should definitely be king.
Yeah! Let's hear for Arthur King, or as the sports writers call him, Arthur the King.
Why wouldn't they just call him King Arthur? Can you imagine being a sports journalist and there's an up-and-coming star athlete named Arthur King, and you botched the headline that hard? It was a softball, man. The easiest win of your career. Someone's getting fired. Well, maybe they just thought it was a little too on the nose.
Yes, well, personally, Gallup, I can't wait to hit the Museum of Natural History. Oh, it's really, I hear they've got a killer Mammals of the Arctic exhibit. Very, very good.
Who the fuck is this guy? This guy is way too gorgeous to be talking like that. How are you gonna be a star athlete with a face like that, but you talk like the kid from Polar Express?
Where are we anyway? And how do we get these clothes?
You are in what you called the Middle Ages, I believe, Sir Brick.
Sir Brick. Merlin magically transported these guys from their universe, so there's a good chance this guy's name is actually just Brick. That poor bastard. Merlin gives the Knights of Justice the lowdown on the show's plot, and they're like, nah, this is dumb. I'm not a big Dungeons & Dragons guy, I kinda wanna go home and lift weights. So Merlin shows them that there are hot babes in danger, and literally everyone in that room is on board, no questions asked from here on out.
She is
Guinevere.
She is your queen, Arthur.
Hold on, no. The real King Arthur is still in the whack-ass crystal prison. This is just some dude. The knights undergo their magical girl transformation, and look, I know what you're thinking, because we're all thinking the same thing right now. They all look rad as fuck, dude. Honestly, this is so refreshing. Every isekai anime is the same shit. The protagonist always seems so hesitant. He's either scared or lazy. This, they yoinked a bunch of buff football dudes into the fantasy world, and they're like, oh shit, I get to kill guys with swords? Well, this kicks ass. This is way better than football. Let's go have some fun.
Magic, knights in shining armor, rescuing fair maidens. You know, Arthur, a guy could get to like this kind of thing.
Their cheer is just them saying knights over and over again, but it sounds like they're saying nice. And it cracks me up because when they do something cool, it sounds like a bunch of dudes just going, nice, 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 nice. The warlords get totally clobbered. They didn't stand a chance. They weren't ready. And that's it. That was episode 1. How did this shit not go on to sell a gazillion toys and go on to become a well-known franchise on par with Transformers or He-Man? Look, I'm not saying it was like the best show ever or anything like that, but come on, I had fun. It was cool. I wanted to watch more than one episode. I liked it. This show doesn't even waste time. We get right into the knights fighting the warlords. Lord Viper's sword is fucking stupid, but apparently he can summon a snake from his chest. Wait, what? 2 of the knights fall in a hole, where they meet Morgana, who asks the obvious question, who the fuck are these guys?
Who are you imposters?
Arthur's shield summons the Dragon of Justice, which can just fly Arthur to Castle Morgana, and Merlin explains to Arthur here that Excalibur is kind of like a lightsaber. It can basically cut through stone like it's butter, except that's not what happens at all. He hits the rock and the rock magically moves out of the way. So what the fuck is Merlin talking about?
The sword of justice. Excalibur can cut rock like a knife cuts paper.
Also, Merlin keeps spurring Arthur along by his dick, and that's just hilarious to me, especially considering that is someone else's wife.
Come on, my boy, let's move. The most beautiful girl in the world is waiting for you.
I mean, yeah, it's not like Arthur's gonna get to fuck her. Wait, is he? This is making me realize that there is a universe where Castlevania got a sick-ass cartoon in the 80s or 90s, and I don't live in that universe, and now I'm grumpy at scenarios that only exist in my head. Arthur spares the bat, because delivering the coup de grace against a now defenseless animal is the kind of fucked up thing murder hobos in Dungeons & Dragons campaigns do, not noble knights on a mission of truth and justice. And poon. Arthur wants them titties.
Arthur, you are alive.
But not for long.
But not for long. The fighting in this isn't even bad. Overall, I have to say, so far, this is a competent show. I'm enjoying it completely sincerely. Yeah, it's goofy and campy, but damn if I don't like a little goofy camp in my media. I'm a big Castlevania fan. Of course I like camp.
Arthur, my heart is glad you're here, but I fear for your safety.
Wait, does she think this is King Arthur? Her husband? Bro, don't.
Show me where my enemies are. Find them for me.
I like Lord Viper back here, just not really paying any attention.
Hit him hard!
I don't know, man. I love this. There's no talking it out, no one-liners, no quips. The good guys see the bad guys, and they just rush them. That's not fair. This guy is the coolest warlord so far, and his weapon is a cape, so he's doing a little Uhura fan dance. What is this shit? God, I love this bunch of morons. I need to get me some fucking warlords, man.
My queen, aren't the knights acting most strangely since their return? No more strangely than my husband Arthur acts.
I think they think that these are the actual knights and the actual Arthur. Bro, seriously, don't.
I believe your terminology is party on. I brought some friends who would love to meet you.
Holy shit, dude. Merlin brought some fucking girls to the party.
I would change too if I had to fight against the warlords of evil.
Milady, I don't remember Sir Breeze being so dark. Who the fuck is Sir Breeze?
Knights! 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 Bring it down! Knights! 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 You got it! Knights!
Bro, don't! Despite getting 2 seasons, Arthur and the Knights of Justice didn't really take off, and thus its story goes unfinished. We don't get to see the knights collect all of the keys of truth, nor do we get to see the final fight between Arthur and Morgana. More interestingly, the fight between Arthur and Arthur when the real Arthur finds out he's been banging his wife. You see, the story was actually concluded, somewhat, in a different medium. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce you to King Arthur and the Knights of Justice for Super Nintendo. Because what good is a toy tune without a video game tie-in? Pick the 2 homies that accompany you and you're off to find the keys of truth. Only the knight that was meant to have the key can hold the key, otherwise the key will dissolve and you'll never get to go back home and play football and have non-magical sex with non-medieval fantasy women. Oh, the horror. So where am I going? Where do I go? Where am I? I am in a field. This is the map. Oh, well, clearly this is somewhere I need to go. Let me in. Let me go in there. I cannot go in there. Merlin wants me to go get an Eye of Newt, a monk's hood, a hairball, and a nightshade from the forest so I can walk through the wall of fire. I should probably be writing this shit down. And I already have the monk's hood and the nightshade just from walking around being lost. While I meander through the forest trying to find these objects, let's just talk a little bit. Let's talk about game design. If you were to sit down and design a King Arthur and the Knights of Justice video game for the Super Nintendo, what would the first stage be? Maybe you and the knights fight some warlords. Yeah, that'd be pretty tits. Oh, maybe you go through the cave and like the first boss is the giant bat on your way to rescue Guinevere. That would be cool too. Definitely something that you would have seen in the show, right? What you certainly wouldn't think of, though, is having to find the shit on Merlin's grocery list while you walk around in a world where you fight bees and mushrooms to even begin the first quest. I finally found some fucking dudes to fight, and the Lady of the Lake is like, okay, go kill a dragon, it's on the mountain, which sounds cool, but I can't go up to the mountain until I get Merlin's shit to get rid of the firewall, so why did they do this? Did they do it so I couldn't beat it in a weekend after renting it from Blockbuster? Also, the combat in this is janky as shit. Your attack's damage is based on how much stamina you have when you swing, so you can't just spam attacks. It's kinda like Secret of Mana in that way, except in Secret of Mana, it's way more extreme. I hate the combat in that game. But if you switch directions while swinging, it interrupts the attack animation, consuming the stamina but not actually delivering an attack. So that's super cool. This seems like something you would notice day 1 of testing. We found Merlin's shit, so we're going back. Why can I look at Merlin's bed? Oh yeah, this is the good fighting. I feel like I should be liking this. It looks like a game I should like. It's just not feeling like a game I would like. Okay, I like this. This is neat. Oh fuck, oh god, I can't, I'm burning. Am I even dealing damage to this thing? Oh Jesus, oh lord, oh heaven, have mercy. Merlin, the dragon kicked my ass. Do you have anything for me? Oh, alright, so apparently one of the knights can get a magic weapon that just kills the dragon. Cool, great, I'm glad I asked. Actually though, I'm glad he's telling me. So I went around in the forest, hugging every tree, thinking maybe it was hidden under the trees when I saw it. There it is, just barely visible. Oh, fuck yes, and it even tells us it's Breeze's shield. Now we're cooking. I ran out of the special attack. The special attack consumes an item from your inventory, these shield orbs, and I ran out of them. So I just get fucked. This is the only spot I've seen them in, so I guess I just leave and re-enter it over and over until I have a comfortable amount of shield orbs. But how many is that? How many do I need? How much health does the dragon have? Was I even dealing damage? Does it have a weak spot I have to hit? How much damage do I even do? This is madness. This is absurdity. Whoever came up with this is an asshole. Herder, kids shouldn't be able to beat it in a weekend. Lamau blockbuster herder, fuck you. Let's get to the Lady of the Lake and get Excalibur already. Follow my path to get Excalibur. Okay. Oh, wow. Fuck you, lady. Fuck whoever's idea this was. I'm gonna shit on your lawn. If you bring the correct companions, this challenge should be a breeze. Are you telling me to bring breeze? You know what? This game is poopy. This is a shit-butt poopy game. I don't want to play it. It takes fucking forever to go anywhere, and when you get there, fighting the enemies is completely mindless. It just sucks. This game sucks. Fucking, you want to play a good game? A good King Arthur game for the Super Nintendo? Let's play a good King Arthur game on SNES. This is Knights of the Round, a King Arthur themed beat 'em up for the SNES by Capcom. And this game kicks ass. Whenever I'm like, I don't know which game to play, what sounds fun? Knights of the Round every time. It's a little tough though, I tend to game over a lot on this boss. Mostly because I frequently forget that the Y button blocks. Oops. I love this game's menu music though. Bah. That's the whole song. Knights of the Round on SNES is a somewhat decent port of the arcade game. Nowadays, thanks to the internet, there's no reason to play the SNES port. You can just use MAME to play the original arcade classic. Alright, Knights of the Round. None of my buttons work. Okay, gotta go into configure options, input device options. Wait, nope, that's not it. General inputs, there we go. Player 1 controls. Yeah, this is what we're looking for. Gotta make sure the software knows what buttons I want to be pushing. I actually use a 6-button controller with no joysticks, fun fact. Generally speaking, if I can't play it with a Sega Saturn controller, I probably just don't play it. Let's see, Mahjong controls, fucking Hanafuda A1. Bookkeeping, key in, stop all reels. Fucking, how do I make the computer think I plunked a coin into it? There we go. Now the enter button is my coin slot. Work some RAMs. Warning, sales, export, or operations inside of the United States of America, Canada, Mexico, and Japan is strictly prohibited by law. Hey, Butler?
Yo, what's up?
Where do we live?
Hang on. Kicks in.
Alright, good. There is something deeply erotic about that sword going into that stone.
What the fuck?
Also, I thought Arthur was supposed to be pulling the sword from the stone. Also, I thought the Lady of the Lake gave Excalibur to Arthur. Wait, are Excalibur and the Sword in the Stone different swords? Okay, yeah, so Excalibur and the Sword in the Stone are different swords. So it's just a little weird that Arthur pulled the sword from the stone to prove his lineage, but then got Excalibur just to plunge that back into a different stone. One hint, if you decide to boot it up, pressing attack just before you press backwards and holding that down, that's how you block. The SNES added a dedicated block button. Would have been nice here, but we have to persevere in this doomed world despite its constant attempts to bring us to ultimate ruin. All 3 characters play about the same way with one major change each. Percival can do a dashing attack, which is incredibly useful. Lancelot can do a super fast jump attack, and Arthur has a super long windup for his heavy attack, making him the worst character in the game objectively. Why did they do this? If I had 2 friends and we all wanted to play Knights of the Round, we would definitely fight over who doesn't have to play Arthur. How do you make King Arthur the worst character in the King Arthur game? This boss is called the Silver Emperor because silver is the color of the fucking quarters you're gonna plunk into the machine to get past this asshead.
Wait, so how does Knights of Justice end?
What do you mean?
If you don't finish the game, you don't get to see how the story ends.
They get the 12 keys of truth, beat Morgana, and go home. How else could it end?
Maybe there's a twist. Maybe they decide to stay in the cool fantasy world.
That's interesting. I think most people would choose to stay in their isekai world if given the choice. I think the plot hook of I gotta get back home sucks. I hate it. Just let the protagonist live out his best life in the cool fantasy world. I don't give a fuck about the real world with the smartphones and the AI art and the global conspiracy to trick the poor into becoming malnourished by eating bugs and not getting enough sunlight. The Dungeons & Dragons cartoon did the same thing, where the kids are all obsessed with getting back even though they now live in a kick-ass fantasy world and they have powers and shit. Yeah, I don't have time in this video for that. Isn't that a comforting thought, though? If you get fucking annihilated by a truck or something, you wake up in a fantasy world and get to have sweet adventures. Or maybe just harass some hot fantasy babes or something, instead of getting sent straight to the fiery depths of hell to serve penance for all those times you ignored your phone's Amber Alerts.